Good night. Next news. Trump fumbles when asked why he blamed Biden for bad economy. The New Republic. And yet Donald Trump took credit for the economy while Joe Biden was still in office. Below are your comments. The Q1 negative GDP was 100% on Trump and his tariff tax. No company is going to be hiring or expanding during so much uncertainty. Every president inherits the economy from the prior president's administration except for one. DJT. The reason is simple. He changed the economy entirely on day one. Part of his plan to destroy the global economy and impose tariffs on the rest of the world. He did it. The economy changed drastically. See more. Oops. Under Biden. Unemployment 4.1%, inflation YOY 12/24, 2.9% wage growth YOY 11/24, 4.3% S&P 500 RE2. RN for 2024 25% CHIPS Act, an actual infrastructure bill, child poverty down, prescription costs for senior. Lowered GDP at 2.8% and 2.9% for the last 2 years of the administration. 0.5%. Under felon 47, unemployment 4.2%, inflation 1/25, 3% wage growth 1/25, 4.1% S&P 500 return for 1/25, 2.3% U.S. GDP 1/25, 2%. And today Trump is responsible for the first contraction of our GDP in 3 years. We were on track to see 3% growth this quarter, but instead the economy got smaller. Who pays the import tax? At first, the importer, the company bringing the goods into the country, pays the tax to the government, but that company usually doesn't just take the hit. Instead, they raise the price of the product when they sell it in stores. So in the end, you, the shopper, are the one who really pays for it. The first day Trump announced tariffs, it became his economy. Trump is using the blame game again and doesn't want retailers to reveal the actual price hikes his tariffs have caused. Blame, hide, deflect, the MAGA way. This man is so out of touch with the average American and American household. Congress at least has the courage to go back to their districts and hear the people's frustration. The Democrats do. The GOP has been told to stay away from their constituents, especially for town halls. They give the public no way to ask their questions or spew their wrath. It is taxation without representation. Cheeto only surrounds himself with yes men. This is a huge mistake. This country was built on revolution and will demand to be heard one way or another. It will take decades to repair the damage that Trump is doing to America and the world. It will also be very expensive. Trump supporters, just remember that you alone are responsible for the ongoing disaster. We had the strongest economy in the world when Trump took office. Our economy had not been as strong in at least 80 years. Not a single organization was predicting a recession. Now most people are hoping it will only be a recession. Put a guy with 6 bankruptcies and a history of failed businesses and unpaid bills in the White House. The MAGA T.S. all said. What could go wrong, they all said. Trump is the gloat. Nothing that comes out of his mouth can be taken as the truth. Although I am terrified by how he is destroying the country, I am at least pleased Trump and the GOP will be blamed for the next 4 years of economic suffering and depression. Manufacturers will never build factories here, and Americans do not want factory jobs. Sorry, Trump, you have no idea what people in this country really want or need. Oftentimes it can be difficult, if not dubious, to establish correlations between certain events or esoteric political policies to movements in the markets. In this case, however, it's the exact opposite. The correlations are salient, clear, and undeniable. The cause of the market downturns is 100% a direct cause of Trump's policies and actions as president. You'd have to be deaf, blind, and infirm not to recognize the obvious. According to the article above, Trump claimed that he had already cut deals with 200 nations, which is more than the number of nations in existence in the world. If this is correct, would that means there's a deal with China, Canada, Mexico, EU, including non-existence. Trump is well known for pulling stunts to boost his wealth, power, and self-image. He has a pathological inability to admit when he is wrong, and of course failure is always someone's else's fault. No doubt his MAGA cult disciples are still buying this baloney. Donald John Trump and his tariff stupidity is 100% responsible for the cratering stock market, ASED inflation, and the recession that is about to hit, featuring higher unemployment, the loss of any thousands of small and medium-sized businesses, and financial struggles for Trump and Navarro probably really believe that tariffs will produce more jobs and a strong economy. But this isn't 1930, and the old-school manufacturing jobs Donnie thinks will happen will never happen. No capitalists will be investing millions in new factories while the country is controlled by a put-in wannabe dictator hellbent on destroying democracy and the rule of law. Meanwhile, China, Europe, and the rest of the world will move on, leaving the U.S. economy and the U.S. dollar behind. Well, Trump has had a successful run of bankruptcies. At least 4. He is just doing this one on a grander scale. Trump's excuse is, "I know more than anyone else. I know more than doctors, scientists, how to stock groceries, contamination of drinking water, oil pills being perfectly okay, building a house with a hammer and a nail, making McDonald's French fries, raising and educating your kids, pretty much everything in existence." And like this, sometimes I just say stuff without thinking. But it must be right because I thought it. Flooding the zone. This has always been Trump's strategy. Tell as many lies as you want, you can say a NY thing, and if you continue to flood the zone with lies, people will believe them, no matter how outrageous and obviously false they are. It works, it got him elected president. Wait till a lot of ultra-MAGAs lose their jobs because of all his tariffs. See how they feel then. Probably blame Biden. If next quarter is another negative growth like Trump's first quarter, this country will be in a recession. He cut deals with McDonald's for Big Mac delivers every day through Thanksgiving. That's 200 deals right there. As always, King Trump relies on his greatest hit, lies. Like a washed-up rock star clinging to faded glory. He refuses to take responsibility for the consequences of his actions and policies, always quick to shift the blame onto others for the chaos he causes. Perhaps some of his closest allies should remind him that Joe Biden is no longer president. The responsibility for the economy. It is clear that Trump is in over his head and outside of his extremely limited mental capabilities. Which is he just keeps lying and casting blame everywhere else and refuses to take any responsibility at all for this massive self-inflicted destruction of our economy. This is all on the GOP. No one else. Okay, let's blame Biden. For what? Seriously, what can you point to that Biden did specifically to bring down the Q1 economy? Remember, this is after almost 4 years of positive growth every single quarter under Biden. But we saw Trump's immediate and negative impact on the economy. It was instant and directly attributable to his actions and his statements. So, again, what did Biden actually do to cause this contraction? I'll wait. taxing the middle class with tariffs to fund corporate tax breaks. Funny, in October 2024 he said stocks were up because the world was expecting his win. Even blamed Kamala for the stock market losing half a point before rebounding to record high. The conservatives called it a Kamala crash. But now that he is in charge, it's Biden's fault. Please help me make sense of this. Trump is a failure on every metric. His tariffs is causing market economical meltdown. His doing, not Biden. We were the envy of the world under Biden. Now the rest of the world is wondering if we have been taken hostage by a self-proclaimed king. That all-time stock market high under Biden was such a disaster. A real disaster like nobody's ever seen before. Last week, Trump claimed that he had already cut deals with 200 nations around the world. 5 more countries than actually exist, yet somehow, the magats still believe him. Surprise? Trump has never taken responsibility for anything negative in his entire life. Therein lies the problem. It's either someone else's fault or he just goes into fear-mongering mode, insisting that we are being invaded by criminals and lunatics, so we shouldn't think about the unilateral destruction of the constitutional republic and replacing it with an authoritarian oligarchical. Welcome to the Trump economy. Tariffs, recession, layoffs, maybe some stagflation, and it's all on him. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you like it, please thumbs up.